All right, perfect. And we could turn him down just a tad bit. Turn him down a tad bit. I'm about to start the clock. Right. Oh.
I don't have anything on my face, do I?
No, sir. No, sir.
Oh.
Got him. All right. Timer started. I have a little clock so we keep a track. Johnny Skywalker, how have you been, brother?
I've been pretty good, bro.
Dude,
I've been busy, man.
tell me
I've been
about.
busy.
Oh, just let's start with this Sunday. Let's just start with this Sunday. Like, let's just give a brief, and we'll probably talk about it more later with our new guest.
Right.
But what do you call it? I feel like
Sunday. You want me to talk about what happened Sunday?
What do you feel, bro? What do you feel? We were talking about doing the impossible last episode. Like, how do you feel about this, bro?
Personally, I feel like this last Sunday we shot this music video for a song called "Picture This." We had the help of one of the most amazing directors and videographers in this area.
Would you like to say his name right now? Let's do this.
Ak40Devin, bro.
Ak40Devin. Yes,
Ak40Devin, bro. He absolutely killed it. He started like sending some of the clips from the video, and I'm already blown away. It's looking unbelievable. We had the drifting shots. We had some shots near some graffiti walls. We had a photo shoot concept. And on top of that, you gotta see it to believe it.
It's oh wow, it's a masterpiece. I feel like it's topped all of my productions in a sense of like, putting things together. I see
so
myself
this is one of the biggest things you've done yet.
I would say not biggest thing I've done. I would say it's the biggest thing I've
put together.
Awesome. In a sense, I feel like, I wouldn't put it plainly, but like I was able to gather.
Yeah, bringing everybody together. Yeah. We had so how many people did we start out with all together, and then some fell apart?
So we started out with one photographer and then a for sure videographer, which was Ak40Devin.
Yep.
And then no one else really. So
I mean, we're talking about that's the very beginning, the origin.
The very beginning, and then so that makes it only 5 people. And
well, even before that, if you go back before that, we were actually looking to do it for a completely different song.
Shout out Sesh House. Shout out Remy for making the shake. It's delicious. She said it is.
Shout out Remy hooking me up with the black drip coffee. I just put together, like, I guess that's how they came up with blick. You put the black coffee with the drip. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So either way, we started out with that, and then we had, gone on a journey in life in a sense, and we had Savannah bring on 2 of her friends. One who is a model or an aspiring model.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Christina. And then her other friend, Naomi. And, she likes to model for her Instagram, but it's not a career per se.
Yeah.
So
it's all,
so
she
brought those 2. So that was a guaranteed 2. So then we had now.
Wonderful.
Another 2 people on the team. And then we aimed to get a girl named Victoria and a girl named Chelsea, which is your sister.
Chelsea, yeah, my little sister.
Shout out both of them. And
amazing artists.
Things didn't work out. They couldn't make it. So we, that's for later on. But either way, that's 2 people that we were going to be guaranteed to have in a sense at the time. And then 2 more girls, right? No, 1 more girl, which would be Anaya. We had met her along our journey, and she told us she was a part of a Coil Ray music video and all these other things. So we were like, hey, would you like to help us with this? So we had a total team of 6 girls, you and I, making it 8, and then the videographer, and still the photographer was up in the air until I locked in Zoe, who's a dancer / I don't know, everything. She does it all. She has a great TikTok page, Zoe D Lento. Shout out Zoe. And then Zoe D Photography. She definitely pulled up and showed out this Sunday for sure.
Amazing photographer for sure.
Amazing.
Super good energy. Really dope person.
And what do you call it? She, so that was our team. And then we had a team of 10. And I feel like is you know, it was a machine we created, and you know, I like to say that we usually aim for the stars so we can land on the moon. So, you know, having 6 females, it's actually started to feel overwhelming, and for 2 of the females to end up pulling out, it actually made everything a little simpler.
Yeah, at the end of the day, when two people actually pulled out, then we just had 4. It actually worked out.
It's okay. It's all good. But what do you call it? So the 2 girls pulling out. Yeah, I think that.
So the whole concept of the video was basically we had this idea. At first, we were going to do the song "Outside" that we worked on together. We have already released. Then we were thinking. So originally, we were going to do this whole merch photo shoot. So we were going to for the winter table. We have obviously the website shop. What's the website? What's the IRL or the URL?
Thewinnertable.com.
The winner.
Check it out.
Yeah, it's that clean. It's that easy. Nothing before it. Just thewinnertable.com.
I'm a winner too.
Sitting at the winner's table. So thewinnertable.com. We have hoodies. We have different merch, and we wanted to do a photo shoot for it. So at first we were thinking, we're not sure how this is going to go. Is this, the correct trajectory right now to do a whole photo shoot for this? So then the photo shoot ended up morphing into a also music video shoot. So we wanted to blend the 2 ideas of a photo shoot concept together with the music video. So then what ended up happening was the song we were going to do originally was called Outside, and we were going to have the photo shoot concept and all these different ideas. But then we also had this song that we have not yet released yet called Picture This. And we were like, hold on. We had this epiphany, and we're like, why don't we just do Picture This? It makes more sense with the whole photo shoot concept. We ended up getting a drifter that Lance met at his workplace, and this guy is an amazing drifter. Yellow car, underneath the purple light, straight out of Midnight Club 3 if he was playing that. But like, it was unbelievable.
Yeah,
and he ripped up like 2-3 sets of tires.
Yeah, it made them little spaghetti noodles. It was amazing. And like going back to what I was saying about the 2 girls pulling out and making things simpler, it kind of just shows you, maybe bad things are good things and good things are bad things, which was mentioned back in episode 1.
It's all about perception and how you perceive them and how you actually allow something to either learn lessons from it,
right,
or if you perceive it as something bad, then then you're actually allowing your subconscious or you're internalizing that's bad. Rather than if you were to internalize, everything happens for a reason, it's going to be way more easy for you to actually understand and process that and move forward with it. Because you're like, you know what, this is not bad. There's good in everything.
Yeah.
Everything's going to work out. If you have that mindset, you never have negativity that like floods your brain or floods your system.
I would definitely agree with that.
I mean, obviously everybody's going to have ups and downs. Like nobody's perfect.
And going to a little thing that I was pointing out to you a little bit was like, hey, at the time of planning this music video photo shoot, I didn't even have a job, and I was like, no money.
Yeah.
So it's like, really shows how also, shout out Ak40Devin for sending me these videos earlier. Not to spoil anything, but one of the videos that I was listening to, it really just explained how, the way you think is everything. If you think you're poor, you're going to be poor. So
kind of like a law of attraction.
Right. And I realized that the whole time of planning that music video, I was with the mentality that I have money. I will have money. Don't worry. And I even think I remember telling that to you straight. And, that's pretty bold for a person that's barely even looking for jobs.
Someone ain't got no dough.
Right. So, I would say that through that journey, it showed that, okay, like things are kind of like meant to be because
they're meant to be, and it also could be
found.
You're talking things into existence as well.
But I would have never found a drifter if I hadn't found that specific job, in the sense, or maybe I would have found a drifter in another job, but here I found this specific beautiful yellow car with the purple lights,
right. And they say that goes into the thing that everything happens for a reason, because sometimes if you look back, you can always be like, well, if this didn't happen, then this would have never happened. And those are almost like the most beautiful situations where everything just kind of falls into place. Like you met this person because you were here. Like even today when we pulled up to the Sesh house,
Ain't no way I have an alarm on right now.
That you had that same alarm I think last time, didn't you?
Episode 1. Shout out episode 1. Yeah.
What is this alarm for? Let me cut this off. What time is that for?
7:44 p.m.
But what is that
It's supposed to be for 7:44 a.m.
Well, shut it off.
Yeah.
Well, shut it off.
No, that's on me, y'all.
That's the wrong timing, bro.
That's on me, y'all. Put a laugh track on that one. Put a laugh track. Put a button on that one. Put a button. There you go.
Clap it up. There you go.
Clap it up for my failures.
Justin kept hitting that one. I like that.
That's not failure. That's just another lesson learned.
But here's to bring it back. What I was saying was even like everything kind of falls into place. So it's like we pulled up to the Sesh house today. We didn't know when was going to be the next day we were going to start. We were going to film the podcast. And after shooting the video with Devin, I knew I wanted to at least do it once a week, at the minimum, right? So once we finished shooting with Devin on Sunday, we were like, "Yo, let's get Devin on the next podcast." And Devin says one of the days he's available is Wednesday, so we end up pulling up here on Wednesday, make it all happen. Lance was supposed to text and say, "Hey, can we do a can we do a podcast?" But he obviously waited till last minute, and then I saw the text come in. I'm like, "Oh, he's just asking right now. Damn, okay." And then the timing and the like different schedules and everything, but it all worked out. And then turns out there's an event actually upstairs. Like they're holding an event. Ayo Chill's up there. Ethan Ross is up there. Shout out to everybody that's the Underground Development Show. But listen, like we wouldn't even have known that event was going on unless if we decided, hey, let's follow through with this on Wednesday, and everything fell into place. Like it's dope how these things happen.
Right. And then going back to how our music video fell into place. It really did. It just was a beautiful masterpiece. It was a great experience. And I'm really appreciative of everything and everybody that helped out and was a part of it. And I hope to work with all of them again, 100%.
1,000%.
And on to bigger things, more projects. This is not the last project. You and I already have a plan for a whole new project.
Absolutely. And then there's obviously there's so much to be done. I think there's always so much to be done. And just, seeing that you can accomplish something. That's something I kind of want to say, like a winner mentality is, even if let's say, even if you fail, like every small accomplishment, you can look at it and say, I did accomplish something, and you can use that and just add that to the confidence that you build for yourself, because your self-confidence and your, the way you feel about yourself on the inside is truly what's going to push you to your next level. So it's like even these small, like looking back at this music video and being like accomplishing it, and now we see the material that's after it, like the videos and the aspects of it. It's like, damn, we pulled it off. Let's do another one.
Absolutely.
Like it's it shows you that you can continue and keep pushing.
Absolutely. And back to the video that Ak40Devin sent. I mean, listen, if you're going to believe that you'll make that money back, then that money will come back. So if you just treat your money that way and treat yourself as an abundant person, then you'll forever stay abundant. So we'll forever have the ability to make any of these productions plus more. And, with the abilities of our connecting skills, we have met these people that, we're working at us with costs that were a lot lower in a sense, because we were able to, we have friends, we have people that we build connections with. So with
connections and networking,
yeah,
that's super
we have that
important.
plus. We have that plus where we're,
and just not being a dick or an asshole. It's like a lot of people think like a lot of people feel entitled. A lot of people
like, I'm paying you, so you're supposed to.
Well, besides that, people just feel entitled to things where they're like, that type of energy, like it kind of pushes people away. Yeah. And then like maybe you may have needed someone for a favor, or maybe you could have pulled in a favor for something you were doing, and because of the way your attitude or your energy, it's like now you kind of cut off all connection. You're like an island alone, and like one of the most that's not something that's helpful. Being on an island alone, it's like we can all say, oh, it's awesome, I'm just gonna do it on my own, I did it all by myself. But listen, we all could push each other more and work together just to get to the top.
Yeah. And I've learned my lessons through my journey in my life, through my bodybuilding days. And I had a bad ending with one of my dietitians because, there was one more week left, and that 1 week, he was basically asking for a whole month's worth of payment. And I just kind of was like, fuck you, like what? And I didn't necessarily care about, what I was saying, because at the time I was going through my own low moments. So without thinking straight and burning a bridge like it's nobody's business, I was just like, I wasn't even doing the diet plan. So I was just like, yeah, no, fuck you. I'm not even gonna.
Remember, that's interesting though. Yeah. The whole month's payment for 1 week. That's
right,
deep.
right, and whatever the case is,
Not to be
it's
that
like,
guy, but that's a little deep. We got like
things
a
that are
pro rate or
not
something.
sometimes things aren't communicated properly. This, that, and the third. He said I already said yes to paying these certain things, and I'm over here saying like I have no clue what you're talking about. And whoever's truth it may be, it's just an example of, well, I should have communicated better. I started becoming a real dick. I'm sure it could have been a little bit handled like a little bit more adult. So
Yeah.
think about things like that. It's like, and it's built my character to today, where it's like, hey, like, I didn't need to burn that bridge. Like, what did that do for me? Not anything other
For
than
sure.
lose a possible,
Possible connection.
friend even.
Yeah. And connection could be in many ways. It doesn't have to be like a connection to like get something out of it. It's just like having a connection is always so
With a
valuable.
person, yeah, connection
energy
with
is-
a person, absolutely.
Yeah.
Having a soul and knowing another soul. If I know this sounds a little cliche, but like, let's just say you throw on your story that you're going through a problem, even though that's just really not what you're supposed to do. That's not what anybody should be doing. But in that sense, it's like you built that person, and he knew you in Florida or whatever. He's
Right.
hitting you up like, "Yo, you good, bro?" Like things like that. It's just like you build these connections because that's also gonna be a person that might just be willing to check up on you because he gives a fuck for a second, or she. So it's just like thinking of it that way. We're living one life on this planet. There's no point to treat any soul any differently than you would want to be treated. So
Yeah. And I think we all could like benefit from just focus on communication and like improving your communication style. I know that's something that I try to do actively because communication is key with everything. Like communication with your friends, your family, your loved ones. Just communicating openly and honestly and like straightforward could really get so many points across and like save so much turmoil or like tension. So keep that in mind. Like next time you're trying to communicate, like how can I communicate this point open, honestly, and like to the point without being like a dick. You know what I mean?
yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and I think that's a perfect transition to bring
Yeah.
wonderful-
let's talk
wonderful
about it.
man.
I think it's
a wonderful
we have a
man.
third seat here. Let's bring in the legendary AK40
We're
Devin.
bringing applause on this moment, Remy. Give this man- you got AK40 motherfucking Devin. Yes,
What up,
sir.
y'all? Having a Chipotle on my face, y'all?
No, not at all.
What's
Yeah.
good, brother?
I do?
What? I don't see none.
Damn, you fake, bro. She's real.
No, I didn't see none.
Let me see a little monitor right there. I think we
check-
good.
check
Shout
that.
out to Chipotle anyway, y'all.
Shout out to Chipotle,
Nah,
man. What's
yeah, I
your
fuck with
Chipotle order?
Yeah, I fuck with
Chipotle?
Chipotle. I fuck
Yeah,
with
this is
Chipotle.
like my third time ever at Chipotle.
No
bro.
way, really?
Yeah.
Third time ever?
Yeah, my boy just put me on for the first time.
You're fucking with me.
Today I got a steak
Third
bowl.
Say that again.
I got a steak bowl. We got some little bit of corn in there, a little bit of queso, a little bit of hot sauce, a little bit of cheese, a little rice and bean action going on.
That was
you know
your
what I'm
third
saying?
time, bro.
Yeah, third or fourth time.
It's
yeah.
crazy.
Jesus
I've been eating Chipotle since for like over maybe. When did I mean, I probably tried it when it first came out because it just seemed like a logical.
spot?
It seemed like the spot, bro. I mean, I'm happy to hear you're going there though.
I'm
'cause
more like a mom and pop type of guy. I like supporting the mom and pops, bro. I don't really like supporting the chains, bro. They got enough customers.
They do. No, I think I actually agree with that. Honestly, the mom and pop shops, those like hole in the walls usually have some of the best foods too.
Oh yeah, bro. What up though? How we feeling?
Man, I would just say, wow, how appreciative am I of
Oh,
you,
man, that's-
and like, I just can't wait to work on this project more and more with you and see how this like could be concluded or this finale of how. I think this is gonna be a monster. This is gonna be a monster.
It's funny you say that because I'm actually gonna delete all the footage later on tonight. Nah, I'm joking.
You guys have a good night. You guys have a good night.
We got that shit double, triple backed up. We good.
Oh,
Fuck
double
yeah.
triple backed up. I
Yeah.
like that.
I would have gone home and started crying.
Yeah, no, though, bro. It was an honor, bro, working with you guys. I mean, you guys were just like really fun the whole time, you know? Like, I know you guys are investing your time and your money, and like, it's really important for you guys, but you guys just made sure that the vibe was just having fun. And I think when we just have fun, I always just get the best results out of my clients.
And I would say that there was a few times that I would say I got a little bit like here and there stressed out, but even that.
I mean,
was
that's normal though
cured
too.
over.
It's
It's just
normal,
like,
bro.
I would say there was points where I was like a little just like overwhelmed as well, because like that's part of this whole thing is us learning to push through overwhelm and actually raising your threshold for stress. And I feel like being in this industry, working with people, working on art, and just working on building something that, like, in a business mindset, is building your threshold for stress, because you're gonna have that. You're gonna have clients that might, like, you might lose a few clients. Now you gotta work to get some more because now you're low on money. You might, like, have people fall off like we had. Like, there's so many things that can happen when you're working with people and trying to build something. So, you know, raising your stress threshold is like part of the game. All part of the game. It is.
The bigger bandwidth for stress that you develop is a direct correlation with the amount of money that's going into your pockets.
You know, can we drop a bomb for that, Remy?
Drop a bomb on it.
There you
go. Look at Elon Musk, bro. Like, that dude is probably so good with handling stuff. Like, he's running a $1 billion company. So that's something that I've been trying to learn and develop too, bro, because I'm not really the stress guy, bro. I don't really like it. I kind of hide from it. I run from it sometimes.
And I was just talking to Johnny about that in the car. Like, I was like, damn, I didn't feel stressed when I was stressed. I was just like, it's just, there's certain things that, you know, maybe there's a threshold, like you're saying, where, like, my MMA fight and maybe even your vision, in a sense, like, that causes a certain amount of stress. So anything else is not as stressful. Making a sale, you know, for Johnny can't be as stressful to another person who has all this anxiety about it.
Not
When you cut your vision out for the rest of your life and give you that anxiety, you ain't tripping about no sales after that.
You gotta increase that bandwidth for stress, bro.
Yeah,
sure.
And maybe we were kind of bemored, not blessed. It's a new word, you know, bemored.
Bemored?
Yeah. Not
feeling
blessed,
abundant, you could say.
Yeah, no, I think that's why we were, you know, abundantly blessed, I guess. I don't know. What's the best word for that? But we were given that. We were given that.
Yeah, no, you got. I think we all got to be grateful for, like, the opportunities that you have, because
for the journey,
the journey as well. Because some people may be like, oh, why me? Why me? When in the end of the day, you could be in somebody else's shoes and you may not like the life that you have in those shoes. It's like you were given everything that you could handle. You know, I don't mean to get religious on it, but it's like God says he only gives you what he believes you can handle. So everything that's coming into your life, all these stresses and these hardships, it's like, you can handle this. And I know you can.
Yeah.
And you know you can. So it's like, what you tripping for?
So it's like changing your mindset. Like, I get to handle this. I don't got to handle this.
Yeah. I know tax season just came around. You know, people that got to pay a lot of taxes. I know it sucks. Like, I don't listen, I understand. But then it's like, you think about it like this. I get to pay these taxes because I'm doing well. Which obviously maybe everybody wants to pay less taxes.
But that's kind of a callback to the video you had sent me.
Talk to us about it, yeah.
Like, so the woman, she was talking on the video, she was like, I would get bills in the mail and I would look at them and be like, I just got a check for $20,000. Or I got a check for $160, even though that's her electric bill. And eventually she got bored of that or felt like that was not enough. And she was like, you know what, let me add 2 zeros at the end of it as it's imagination at that point, which is one of the 5 senses you had mentioned.
Yeah, man.
Manifesting.
And she's kind of like, yeah, which is another one of the 5 senses. So it's like, what do you call it? She was adding, like, all right, 200,000 on my check, right? Like, and eventually, like, you know, she wanted to feel good about her money. That's another one. And she didn't even have any money, and she just pulled from her credit card a few $20 bills from her $100 that she had left, and went and started, like, giving. She just walked on the street, like, let me just like.
Well, let me ask the universe.
Ask the universe, but to any other average person, it's just like, let me see who I can give it to you, and like, it kind of feels like so nonchalant the way she explained it. She's just walking down the street and she sees someone that walks out of the store and is like, oh man, I don't have enough money for that, while talking to his friend. And she's like, oh, the universe was giving me these people. And so she gave all the money out, and she felt good about it. And then $25,000 came into her account that weekend.
Really?
Shit. You know, it's like
completely random.
So
that's
talk
crazy.
About the way
I gotta watch that video.
The way you're talking about tax right now, and you're like, well, I'm a or like, you know,
it's like I get to pay them.
Yeah, you get to pay it. There's a way of thinking about that. It's like, you know, it's a beautiful way to think of that. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Can you tell me a little bit more about this mindset that you guys are like? I know I was hearing a little bit. Devin was talking about it when we were on the way back from the shoot. But I know Lance listened to the video. Like, can you guys tell me a little bit more about this? Maybe, tell the viewers a little bit more about it.
I mean, me, bro, I'm big on like Bob Proctor and Rhonda Byrne. Rhonda Byrne wrote The Secret. Bob Proctor studies the law of vibration. He studied Think and Grow Rich. But like on a side note too, bro, Bob Proctor has like this really good quote where he says, if you have to think about giving, you're not giving, you're trading. So always make sure that like you want to learn the science of these things, but you want to apply them the right way. Because if you have to think about giving me something, you're probably thinking about in your head what the trade-off is.
Like, what do I get out of this?
Yeah.
That's actually
But yeah, bro, in my
intentions.
In my like darkest moments of my life, and like I haven't had really deep dark moments. It's just all whatever shit that we all go through as humans. But I just got put onto Bob Proctor, man, and I would listen to the interview that I sent you, and like he just said, like just listen to this every day and like see what'll happen. And he has a line in that interview too where he says, like, if you don't take what I'm saying seriously, like I'm not even going to teach you anymore. So I took that very serious when he said that, because imagine that me and you are listening to his advice and we don't do what he's saying. That video is just gone from the internet forever. We can never watch it ever again. You don't want to take those things for granted, but
interesting.
That's so true. Because you see a lot. I feel like there's a lot of that actually goes on with like the internet, YouTube, and like we have such access to information and value that we take it for granted. Yeah, and like a lot of people get lost in like consuming information but not acting on information. And I've noticed that. I fall victim to it myself, where it's like I would watch all these videos and feel like you're being productive when it's like you're not taking the action on the video.
Yeah, exactly. But to keep going on that note though, Bob Proctor, he just studies like the laws of the universe, and like the second law of the universe is the law of vibration. So like just by changing your frequency, you're going to change the results that are coming into your life. So I mean, that's like number one. I mean, the video I sent you to with Rhonda Byrne, like that's the law of attraction. Obviously, them two go hand in hand. Rhonda Byrne talks a lot more about mindset, but man, I don't really know. I mean, you gotta just ask me questions and I'll answer them. I can't really pull this mindset shit out of my ass and just start talking about it. But
let me ask you this. So what are 3 things people can do today? Like after listening to this podcast, let's say someone may have low vibrations. What can someone do today to maybe raise their vibrations? What are some actionable steps someone can take?
So I think number one is like gratitude. It sounds like cliche, but it's like true. Like when you realize how grateful you are for everything. I mean, even for just to have limbs, right? Like I was listening to Robert Greene on the way here, and he was talking about his seizure. And when he woke up from his coma, you have more empathy for the people that are disabled and handicapped. But like we don't take these things for granted. So number one would be just like gratitude. And Russ was speaking on an interview recently where he said a lot of ways to just give grace or move with grace is like, like we're not promised any of this stuff. So if we're not exercising every day, if we're not using our fingers to write, if we're not using our eyes to read, if we're not using our ears to listen, we're not moving with grace, because there's people out there that wish that they could have these things. So,
yeah, I mean, I have so much to say about that grateful point there. It's like, me being visually impaired and losing my vision at 14, one of the things I like miss, and maybe like I feel like it went hand in hand with maybe me not feeling as grateful in life, is because recently I actually went through this where like I was going through a lot and like felt like down. Everyone tells you just be grateful, and I'm like, yeah, that's fine, but it seems like just a word. Like, what is that? I'm not feeling that grateful feeling. Like maybe I could say I'm grateful for this or grateful for that, but it's like, it's like an energy, it's a feeling. And one day I remember I actually came after a recording session. I got home and I just felt this feeling of gratefulness, because there was no other word to put to it. It wasn't like joy, wasn't this. I just felt grateful. I was like, wow, this is kind of beautiful, this feeling. And it was after actually, speaking on my mind, and I just felt free. I felt like I was grateful. And now I feel like I'm on a different trajectory. I was able to kind of like hone that and hold on to that. And I want to, continue to practice that.
I feel like being grateful is something that clicks. It's like I was going to a show, and my mom had paid for my tickets to go, and I had friends. Shout out mom, and then shout out Mom. Joe Dickinson, who paid for my room to. We both had 2 separate beds, but he paid for the entire room for the weekend. It was a big event, And like it's just everything about it. My my other friends supplied the the fun activity stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Fun activity stuff. Yeah, we get it, bro. Don't do
FAS,
drugs,
fun
kids.
activity stuff. And I'm over here walking to the show, and homeless people are sleeping on the sidewalk. And I remember just like being kind of like in an ungrateful moment, like kind of like, man, it's cold, it's this, it's that. And it was at the end of December. And then what do you call it? We're now waiting around this building that's a block long. So we're about to be in this venue that's so like enormously just spectacular, all set up for us. And homeless people sleeping right next to us while we're trying to stand in this line, all chatting up a storm. I know it sounds weird, but like they're probably trying to sleep. You feel me? Like, and we're all doing our thing. And I remember getting into the building and kind of feeling a little alone while being in the crowd, because I have my moments like that, and just having a second to be like, wait, hold up. If these homeless people were in my shoes, in a sense, they would be enjoying this. They would be enjoying the fact that they're in clothes. They didn't even pay for the ticket because their mom did, right? Like that kind of a thing. I was just like, holy fuck, like, just appreciate this shit. And I remember being like, oh, wait, hold on. I appreciate the fact I could fucking hear this too.
Yeah.
And wait, I could see these things too. And it was just all these clicks. I was just like, holy fuck, I'm a really grateful person right now. Like, and yeah, gratitude, I would say, is a really big number one
And
step.
I feel like that might go hand in hand with being present, because it's like once you actually get present in the moment, because they say depression comes from thinking about the past, anxiety comes from thinking about the future.
Interesting.
So like we can constantly
Peace in the
be
present.
right. It's peace in the. I love that, peace in the
I
present.
love that.
And it's like you can either be in the past and you're not present, so you're not going to be grateful for what's going on, or you can be thinking about something that's supposed to happen in the future and you're not present at all. And it's like both of those can cause you pain, but if you're in the present, peace and gratefulness actually can flood into you.
Absolutely.
So like I feel like those go hand in hand.
Yeah, and it's just it is just all a mental trip, right? Because like you could go outside and meet a homeless person that is extremely grateful and happy. Then you can meet somebody who has everything that me and you desire, which is like the houses, the girls, everything. But like they're depressed and they're ungrateful and like they're they're miserable. So
and they may have their own genuine reasons, whether it's from childhood and etc. But
yeah,
that's
but
going in comparison.
Trauma and stuff, but like
I just think that everybody should just like study the laws of the universe, because I think like the third or fourth law is like the law of polarity. So like for every good there's a bad, for every high there's a small, for every equal there's an opposite, right? So that's another where gratitude comes in. Like I always say that depression and gratitude can't mix. Like you got to pick one. So you just always got to think like if this situation is a little bit good, then it's always going to be a little bit bad. Or like if we have a bad experience that happens, whatever, your girlfriend breaks up with you and you're a little bit sad about it, you're just ignoring the little bit of good that's still right in front of you. It's still right here, but your mind is just consuming you in the negativity, bro. There's a fantastic book by Napoleon Hill called Outwitting the Devil. And the devil is just anxiety, depression, fear, bro. And those emotions, like they want you comfortable all the time.
For facts.
Oh shit.
The enemy, like, bro. The enemy would try to bring you down, dog.
Yeah, bro.
That's a good way to think about it.
A good way to like battle all those things, because those are all human things, bro. We all get nervous, we all get anxious, we all get angry, we all get depressed. Is like just welcome those emotions, bro, and just hug them, bro. Like you're just a human being. Like when I gave you the metaphor the other day when we were talking, and I'm just like, bro, just visualize it and just take your jacket off. It's like the same thing with dealing with stress or whatever. Like just let go of it, bro.
Wow.
Just let go of it. Like in this present moment, everything is A-okay, bro.
Would you say that's step 2, letting go?
Letting go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So
to the first, like the 3 steps that people could do.
3
now.
steps to raise their vibrations. Listen, what would you? So what's the second step?
Letting go would be maybe.
I would say first thing is gratitude, just because it starts there with your attitude. The gratitude attitude sounds kind of corny, but I think step 2 is you have to be aware, and you have to be aware of your environment. You have to be aware of everything that you're consuming. Like, I try to only be around people that are positive and loving and caring and empathetic. And you spoke about frequency, right? And like a lot of people might not understand like what that means, but like to change your frequency is changing your thoughts and changing your feelings. But ultimately a metaphor for that is like changing the radio to Hot 97. People could only tap into Hot 97 if they physically turn their radio to that. So when you physically change your thoughts and your emotions to like only a high frequency, you're only going to attract people of that frequency, right? Like,
so you
loser,
will, yeah.
And I don't mean to put anybody down, but I'm just describing words.
No, there's
like
a good. We use winner and loser.
A loser or a bum or like a drug addict or a kid that's smoking weed all the time. Like he's not gonna attract Derek Jeter into his life because they're fucking polar opposites. He's gonna attract the kid who wants to be
as comfortable as him.
He's looking for enablers, and that's what I'm looking for too. But I'm just on a different frequency. I'm looking for people to enable me at this level. So.
Are people enabling you to be great? I like that.
Exactly.
Keep the people around you that's going to enable you to do the best things for you.
Accountable, maybe.
There's
accountability.
Accountable.
And that goes into I think something we actually spoke about as well. It's like you are the sum of the 5 people you're around the most. So like when you talk about environment, that could be like you were saying, the people you choose to be around, like choosing positive people versus like toxic people or negative people, because that, you're a human being. You can only actually last through that so long. And some may say, it's fine, I'm going to keep my positivity, but it's only so long until that breaks you down. And then you also fall victim to those type of mindsets that those people have. And, to say like, when it's saying we say winner and you said, maybe loser, not to, attack anyone, but being a winner is really just a mindset.
It is,
And
absolutely.
being a loser is not sharing that mindset. That's all it is.
Too.
Yeah.
That's true too. But like, bro, something that Bob Proctor says too is like, I don't know if you got to that point in the interview, but like he explains like where depression comes from, and it's just like fear and worry turns into depression. Depression turns into disease. Disease turns into decay, and decay turns into disintegration. Now, the opposite side of that fear of anxiety is faith. So when you go up that ladder, it's like faith, and then it's well-being, and then it's, I'm paraphrasing right now, but after well-being, instead of disintegration, it's creation.
Oh, wow.
And then instead of you getting a disease, you're at ease. So it's all a mental trip, just positive, negative, fear, faith. It's all like...
That's why I was saying be more instead of bless.
Well, to get into that, like, people say words are like spells.
Yeah, they are, absolutely. That's why it's like spelling.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, one thing that no one really, like, realizes saying I'm blessed is almost like I'm blessed. So someone was telling me at a show, they were saying... Zahn, shout out to Zahn. Remember Lance? Zahn, he's a legendary singer, awesome dude. But he was saying blessed is like I'm be less. He was like, say I'm be more or abundant. And little do we know, we're over here thinking blessed is that great, but it's like these words can be hidden. Like even the days of the week. These are the days where you will feel weak, and then the weekend. This is when you will be weakened. Yeah, it's like. It's crazy. It's all a mind trip, and it's the way you flip it. Like I originally started hearing about that from like when people said, I don't know if you guys heard this, but it's like instead of saying good morning, because it's like I'm mourning, like good morning, you're mourning it versus saying grand rising. I'm rising, and it's like so that was the original one that I heard.
And a simple one is the dog. A dog is a man's best friend. God, flip it around. So it's kind of like it's a positive. Like in a way,
that's
like
right.
that. So dogs are close to God in that sense, kind of a thing. Like,
man, that's fine. It's
and
true, bro.
Whatever your beliefs are, like I don't necessarily believe in a God, and in a sense, I believe in every man kind of is their own God, or every person, individual. So even in that sentence, like dog is close to man, dog is close to God, right? Like so, it's kind of like I could see it working no matter what, and. What do you call it? I want to like finish up and get those 3 little steps. So we start with gratitude.
Gratitude would be the first step. Second step would be aware.
Be aware.
And that could be starting being aware of your environment, being aware of when this is me just, understanding what he's saying, being aware of like the things you say to yourself.
And being aware that you're just awareness, like you're not actually your body. Like you are the soul. You don't have a soul. You are the soul.
You are the soul.
The body is just an instrument of your mind.
Oh shit. The body is the instrument of your mind. I'm about to do a solo on my instrument, bro.
And then what would step 3 be?
Step 3. So what was the first 2 steps?
Gratitude and awareness.
Third step is
like what can they do today? Start now. rise their
to get a better
frequency.
mindset, or to raise their frequency.
Yeah,
Raise the vibrations.
Rise their Oh yeah, the vibrations if they're low.
I think it's the abundant thing, but it's just like being abundant with not just money, but like with your emotions too. Like give a lot more hugs. You want to give more than you receive.
Give.
So
Bob Proctor also says too, like you'll never be paid for more than you're doing if you're never doing more than what you're paid for. And it's like you always just want to keep giving. Like giving is actually a law of the universe too. Like the more that you give, the more that you receive.
Oh shit.
Like if you look at it, the universe does nothing but give to us.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely.
It's like each season, all the life. It's just nothing but giving nature is what the universe is. And I guess that goes to say kind of what you were saying, like giving is what the universe was built as. And we kind of, I feel like we strayed away from that. And as people, we're always worried about what can I get out of this? Like, am I getting something? Is this this for me? Or is it, sometimes we just got to give. Like that story you guys were saying, she took the $40 out of her account. She didn't have much. And she just gave it to someone who was really in need and gave, knowing that she would have nothing left. And then it actually came into her account.
Yeah, that's true. But what I could say to that too is like, when you're aware though, like you want to study yourself and you want to realize you don't want to play the victim ever. Like that mentality is like a lot of people do it and it's just kind of useless. So you want to analyze why you are the way that you are and fix that. And also too, like, I just spoke about like depression and what did I say?
Anxiety.
Depression and suppression. You just got to be aware that you're never suppressing anything, because like if I have a feeling towards you that like I didn't bring up to you, let's say at the music video shoot, and I'm just suppressing it, the longer that it's just like inside of me where I'm not expressing it to you or my therapist or my family, whoever, it's just like those things are just going to eat you alive. So I think it's just being aware of, your past, what happened to you, being at peace with that. You know what? Fuck all that shit. Number 3, I could say, because I've done it myself, is forgiveness. You want to learn to forgive yourself and forgive others, because people are holding so many fucking grudges in their mind.
Yeah.
And really it's just like we're all just human beings, just forgive.
And I feel like not taking things personal is a part of that.
Yeah,
that's a huge
That's in the
part
4
of it.
agreements, bro. It's the first chapter. Nothing is personal, bro. If I do something to you, or I do something to Johnny, or I do something to this young lady right now, it has nothing to do with you guys. It actually has everything to do with me.
Right.
If I'm an asshole to anybody, I go upstairs right now, punch somebody in the face.
Yeah.
It got nothing to do with them upstairs, but it has something to do with me internally being broken.
There's something that was like, in you that actually made that happen. And a lot of people, they take everything personal, and it's like, it's really not personal. It has nothing to do with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if you think you have the most valid reason, like it's still like, well, why did you punch him? Like you could have maybe figured a different, decision.
And paradigms, bro. Like we're all just programmed a certain type of way, and like I don't even think a lot of people are aware that we're programmed, or a lot of people aren't aware that you can change your programming and change your results. Like every human being is capable of whatever the fuck that they want to do, bro. Like if us 3 want to go to the moon right now, we fucking get focused tomorrow, we start reading books, we start connecting ourselves with the right people, we'll be on the moon in 10 years, guaranteed.
Absolutely.
In as little as 10 years, we will be on the way to the motherfucking moon.
I believe that. I believe it's possible.
I believe that's
if I wanted to be an astronaut, why not? If I wanted to get on the moon, why not? I mean, look at them.
We wanted a podcast. Here we are. We wanted an LLC.
Right now, bro.
Here we are. Yeah, I mean, I believe that absolutely too. I mean, I almost have no reason not to believe in anything in that sense. Does that make sense? So like, you could tell me the Buddhist beliefs, and I'll believe in it, and this and that. I'll believe in it all. Like because it's kind of like. It'll mesh into its own concept within my soul, if that makes sense.
It's almost like believing in things that would actually give you power, because a lot of people let things that won't give them power, they believe in it. Like, let's say for an example, like if you believe in ghosts and you're the type of person to believe in ghosts, and it's like you're trying to walk into a dark room, now you're scared because you believe in ghosts. And rather than if you're like, I don't believe in ghosts, the person that doesn't believe in ghosts, they're not afraid.
Right.
But then as the person that believes in ghosts, it's like your beliefs is what's going to shape your reality.
No,
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's a fact.
I've had many times where it's like, I'll be like, it's 12 a.m. and I'll go in the basement, no problem, in my house. It's kind of a little creepy in the basement type thing, right? To do the laundry. You know what I'm saying? And then, then it's all of a sudden 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and the devil's
And you're worried.
hour.
3 a.m. the devil's hour.
So the perception changes automatically. I automatically check the time. I'm like, oh shit, it's 3 a.m. Not happening. Now I'm not walking down the basement. So it's that perception, which is another one of the five senses.
It is
What are the five senses?
Damn, let me see if I remember them. Manifestation. I thought manifestation.
Let me see if I remember it better. Imagination.
Memory.
Yeah.
Perception.
Let's do it together. Memory, perception,
Imagination. I thought manifestation was one of them.
That's that.
Okay.
Respectfully.
Okay.
Oh, man. He said this yesterday. I mean, not yesterday. It's 3 days ago. I feel like I'm doing a test, bro.
We got this.
But I studied for this shit.
I told y'all.
Oh, let me see.
Oh shit, we're getting tested, Johnny.
I got those ones. Those ones were really.
You use them every day, bro. Think about it. You use them every day.
Intuition,
Yeah.
yes.
There's 5, right? So we're at
There's 5 or 6, yeah.
intuition,
memory, the will, reason, perception, and imagination.
Will and reason and imagination.
Yeah, we didn't have will and reason. That's actually really good.
You know what? We have homework to do. No,
we do have homework to do.
Shows like
there's nothing better than to memorize those. For fuck's sake,
those are powerful.
Not,
just a complete off-topic thing. Going into you talking about going downstairs at the Devil's Hour. I actually heard something super interesting about the Devil's Hour.
Ghost story time.
Not even ghost story time. This is actually like a powerful story time, like a complete flip of it. So I don't know if you guys ever heard, like if you ever that person that's like, oh, I wake up at 3 a.m. and it's the devil's hour. I'm afraid. Everything's like, why am I waking up at 3 a.m.? So I recently looked into this because I was talking to this this martial arts guy. I was like, he was a potential client. I was going to meet with him and he gave me this whole random thing. I told him I was visually impaired. He taught me about like how to protect yourself as visually impaired and angles. It was this crazy meeting. Obviously, he didn't end up moving forward. It just turned into like a connection. But
that's hilarious.
Long story short, he said he found out that the devil's hour is also for the protectors. So people that like, you can also look at it like not just such a bad time, but it also means that just the door's open for everything. That could be angels, that could be demons. And if you are the type of person that like wakes up at 3 a.m., they say it happens because you are actually awoken to, because you're like one of those chosen ones that have to, he wants you there and present at that time because you're one of the angels that woke at that time. That was something I heard about the Devil's Hour, which is super interesting. What about the fact that you can't
fall asleep till 5 a.m.? I guess then you just
after 3
always chosen by the devil.
You mean like no? You mean like if you just weren't able to fall asleep?
Yeah.
Well, I mean that's because now I'm also saying like if 3 a.m. it just means that that time is not necessarily, it doesn't have to always be looked at as just the Devil's Hour, because just as much as that there's bad things running amok, there's also good things that are running amok, is what I'm saying.
Now, here's something that
polarity, bro.
Not
polarity, exactly.
Polarity. Have you ever had sleep paralysis?
Yes. Yes,
sleep
I have.
Paralysis. You don't know what that is. Well,
I'll remember that.
Let me just before you explain your story, because I have a story too. Sleep paralysis is pretty much, for most cases, is kind of like you. Briefly explained, is you're about to fall asleep into REM sleep, but you wake up. So your body is awake but asleep.
Yep.
And your eyes are open and aware, but you have no control of you're paralyzed. And
it's frightening. It's frightening, dog.
In those moments, yeah, absolutely.
Happened to me too.
Oh, I'll tell a crazy story. And what do you call it? You can't move. You can breathe. Some people feel like they get heavier on their breathing. I think that's just anxiety.
Yeah,
I feel like that's what it is. And then plus your brain starts playing these tricks, but think about it, you're also asleep, so it's the dream part of your brain. I'm not a scientist, I'm just kind of briefing it the way I kind of know it. And, you see ghosts or you see these things, and I have my experience where, actually I want to hear Johnny's before I go into mine. Because I want to hear how crazy his is, because I think mine is kind of crazy.
I don't know how crazy it is. I just remember like being super young. One of the first, it happened a couple times, I feel, but like one of the first ones that was like, because they say you feel like there's something on top of you when you're having sleep paralysis, and basically, I guess your mind plays your tricks where like you wake up and you feel like you're trying to get up, but you can't get up, and then you feel like there's a presence on me. So that's kind of what it was. I was just young, and I felt like there's something holding me down. This is weird. I know I'm like kind of in this middle of sleeping, but I feel like I'm in this realm of like this weird. It felt like there was actually something there. So it could be a dream, but like you don't know.
And for me, it was I was like around 17, 18, and I already was aware about what that is. So when it happened to me, I was quick to be like, oh, I know what this is. I'm good. But to still experience like this black shadow flying over my bed because I was sleeping on the floor. It was just one of these things where I just remember just like keeping myself calm. I was like, breathe, breathe, breathe. I'll be up in a second. And I was out. But that was a crazy enough experience to say, sleep paralysis is its own little journey.
Its own beast in itself.
Experience per se, like a little drug of its own kind.
And so how we looking on time?
We have less than 10 minutes, and I really wanted to get to talking about the music video.
I want to fire off some questions for Devin.
You want to do that? No,
I want
music
to fire
video
off some questions. We can talk about the music video. I just got to ask Devin about himself a little bit.
Oh yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. We haven't done that.
My first question for you: where did you get the name Ak40Devin? Who is Ak40Devin?
So
spray round.
And I will answer this quick, but it's so funny you said that because Veg just hit me up the other day. He said, "Yo, that exact question." I just told him, bro, it was written, bro. Like, I don't remember how the fuck that name came.
You don't even remember? It just came.
He did it. No, I'm just kidding.
And he told me, he said, "Yo, you can't give that answer in a fucking interview." Here I am giving that answer.
No, give that answer.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
bro,
a real one.
It might have had to been like one of my friends, dude. Maybe Justin Green, somebody. I don't know. I mean, probably this kid Justin Green gave me the name. I'm gonna credit him right now. I don't know if it's true, but it just came to me, bro.
People can call you AK. They could call you 40. Or they could call you Devin. Or they could call you the whole thing, right?
Or Desert Dev, yeah, whatever.
40 Dev.
Fuck with it.
What about 40 Dev?
It's cool.
40 Dev. So I see you got some sleeves going. Shout out the artists that did some of that work. Or let me know who did all that work for you, bro.
Majority of it is this dude, Ian Healy. He did mostly both of my arms. Everything, the Statue of Liberty, the pizza.
Wow.
Living Dead tattoo. Gave me my first tattoo. It's a lace-up MGK tattoo. But besides that, my dude Ian Healy did everything else for me.
How much tattoo you rocking?
I mean, I like to think it's just like one long one, but maybe it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Tat it up,
maybe
bro.
14, 15, yeah.
Take my whole body. I don't give a motherfucker. Wiz Khalifa.
Another little shot of how many years have you been doing videography?
Professionally, since the pandemic, God willing, I lost my job during the pandemic, and part of the reason that me and my baby mama are separated, and I got nothing but love and respect for my son's mom, but I just was like, yo, I'm just a fucking videographer now. Fuck it.
Yep.
And she was just like, no, the fuck.
She didn't respect it.
Damn. I was just like,
and what was your job?
The fuck I am.
What was your job before videography?
I was working at a pizza shop.
Oh shit!
And I was a rapper too, though.
Yeah. But she was like, she would have rather had you just the pizza shop guy than the videography guy.
No, I mean, she just wanted stability, bro. And like, she was never proud of me working at a pizza shop either. But she just wanted me to do some blue collar shit, electrician, construction work, or whatever. And none of that shit's just for me.
Bullshit. That ain't
the
raising
reason
the
that
stars.
I do what I do is because, and it's no disrespect to my dad, and I'll keep this quick as well. But my dad used to just always come home all the time as a young kid, and like, I would just see how drained and miserable he is from his job. And like, I just told myself at a young age that like, this isn't what life's about. I know this already, but I'm going to figure out to make money and doing what I love. So
and shout out
after the pandemic, I just did that. I'm like, fuck it.
Shout out fathers out there that have been grinding.
Shout out my dad. Listen, I love him and proud of him.
Yeah, straight up, I fucking love my dad. And I feel like I feel like no one's dad is perfect, but that's goes into the bucket of being a dad.
No, absolutely. Exactly. And I kind of blanked on my question. I think I was going to go on the lines of so did you do videography beforehand though?
I mean, I was just filming like skateboarding videos. I used to film bands in my town and shit, just as like a hobby.
In the beginning, it was like
I just did it, but I never took it serious, bro. Like even on my way here, like my initial goal was to like use my camera, get relationships with music industry connects, and then like infiltrate the industry as an artist once I have all these connections. Like that was like my initial goal, but I actually ended up falling in love with doing what I do now.
With videography.
And
I use it as a key just to get in the door and shit.
To get to where you are 4 years later professionally is impressive. To see where our music video came to be, where it's like, tell us about like, how do you feel about our music video?
And what was your experience like? Is the question.
Yeah, how was it? What's your opinion on all of it?
I mean, experience-wise, I was a one-man band that day, which like I do a lot of things just by myself. But I mean, experience wise, everybody there, like the extras, you guys, Zoe, everybody there, homie that was drifting the car, everyone was just super cool, super professional, super loving. I feel like everyone there was like really excited to be there. No one really felt like, oh, I gotta fucking be here and do this music video. So it's always great when people have great attitudes and
just super dope energy.
I don't know. I mean, it was
around.
just fun, bro. Like I just like having fun, bro. Like I don't really take my job too serious. I mean, goes back to like you guys saying like you're investing money and stuff like that. Personally, me, and this is from a last job I just did too. Shout out Manchester Mills with the mattresses, all that. Pre-production on my end has to get a lot better and more tight end. But besides that, you know, everything else, the shots are fire, the lighting's great, models look great, you guys look great, song is fire.
Amazing. I'm so excited.
Man.
Yeah, we're going to have probably a trailer coming out about a week before the release of the music video. We have yet to get some of those things worked out, but we'll be keeping everybody updated with a lot of promotion and yeah, it's for sure going to be known.
And I don't know if you guys talked about it prior because I was sitting down and I like put in fucking Chipotle in my face. Did you guys like talk about how this record came about?
Yes.
I mean, the record?
Oh, the record itself.
No, the record. Let's talk that.
Before we close out, real quick.
Give it from your perspective. I'll give it from my perspective.
I'll run it as quick as a human can. Fucking, we go from one day kind of like, all right, let's record a song. Things were good. I just kind of started linking up with this girl that I really like. And, you know, she then calls me that night telling me that blah, blah, blah. She didn't feel certain ways.
Blah, blah.
Right. And then I quickly went to write the first part of the track, which is this, I like this chick, but she isn't reciprocating. And then that was kind of like the intro. And then she called back and everything ended up being good. Like we ended up working things out and having a good conversation and good communication. And so I ended up going back and Johnny already had recorded his first verse. I put in my next verse, which was, you know, a few verses later, I had put in the, you know, the time that I had with her, which was pretty, you know, explicit in a sense.
It was passionate.
Sexual,
it was hot
passionate,
and
heavy. You know, so it's like
it was hot and
it
heavy.
shows
dog.
you where my energy was. It went from up and down, and then by the end, I felt power. So I, you know, you could tell by the lyrics that I wrote, and I would say, you know, in a weird way, I possibly, you know, put one of the best lines saying at the end, you know, you was in my whip, you know, just simply inspiring the following time. I would say we didn't like hear that word and we're like, oh, let's put a car track in the background, but we were going through our editing phase of it, and Johnny's just like, what would it sound like if we put like a with a car, and we put it in, and just like we just made a complete, like, wow, like this song's unique.
Just like that.
And we, the last part I'd say is we tried to avoid a formula of normal choruses. We were freestyling back and forth, and Johnny just kind of started saying like something, picture this. I was like, it's just like that.
Can you picture this?
Right. I was like, it's going to be just like that. We're going to set each other up. I'm going to say the can you picture this for you? You're going to say your verse, and you're going to say the can you picture this for me? And that was it. And we started drawing.
Yeah, I remember. So I'm gonna give my perspective because I feel like it's so interesting having two artists' perspectives on a song. It's just interesting. So it's like, you know, we had that beat, and we ended up getting on a package deal with two other beats. And like you said, I was freestyling over it. Came up with this picture of this, and we were like, all right, yeah, that's gonna be super dope. Let's do this beat. And then Lance was like really dealing with it right now. Like he was going through it. I was like, bro, we gotta get this. We gotta get into this. I was like, let's get it going. You just gotta, you know, take what you're feeling, put it on the song. Let's do this. And mind you, during this time, I was like actually not feeling that well for some reason. I might have been running a fever. I don't know if I got you sick, Lance, but I might have been running a fever. My throat was a little raspy. So I actually had this awesome like grit to my voice that I was able to do. And I was like a little tired, but I was like running with it. I was like, and when I got my first lines, I had this nice like vocal tonality because of me being sick. And I was like, this is super dope. I was like, picture this. Ain't no ice up on my wrist, but I got hella grit. If you got a problem with your boy, then you should build a bridge. And it was like mixed with that sick voice. It's like, I take artists, take advantage of it. If you are able to record with your sick voice and add that contrast to it, do it. But if you're too sick, Go to sleep.
Let the pain resonate through. Like, let that pain resonate through. I had like a blown out ACL and MCL after a kickboxing match, and I waited the day after the studio session to go to the doctor just so I could still go to the studio. And that pain resonated in the track. You could hear it.
And it was cool.
And you could hear my breathing because I'm struggling to stay standing. So it's just like, that's a different feel.
But yeah, just to wrap it up, once Lance actually finally was able to kind of be more present in the moment and take, what I was telling him about taking those feelings, put them into the song. He came up with that little intro part about the chick not reciprocating. We did some work to it. And then, as listening to the tracks, there was a lot of like car themes in it. Like we were talking a lot about, one of the lines I said is, when the pressure's on me, I just pose for the camera, smiling from the whip, stick shift, see color like a panda. So like all these different like, metaphors about cars. I was like, yo, we should put some type of car sound in there just to like double down on that. And then it ended up sounding really dope. And then it's crazy because the whole video came together with the drifter, and you brought out the drone, and it's just
amazing,
unbelievable. That song ended up actually coming together really well. And that's like, I would say something about like perfect timing. Just like my sickness at that point, you going through what you were going through, Devin just getting better on it. And then the video and everything, it was really dope how that track came about.
And that's Picture This for you. And I will say that I for sure want to have Devin come back on for a 2-hour one.
Hell
so
yeah!
We'll make sure
Hell yeah! I mean,
we'll have 2 hours.
Devin is legendary. Let's say those last 3 ways to build your vibrations. We got to have Devin back on, just talk a little more. Devin's
what
super.
Did I say gratitude,
awareness, and forgiveness. Gratitude, awareness, forgiveness,
and
GAF.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're really proud of the cinematography on the last music video. Can't wait to show you guys. And shout out to y'all and your whole team for fucking killing it, bro.
Thank you. Shout out.
Thank you, Devin.
Shout out to Ak40Devin once again. You can find him on Instagram. Find him on TikTok. You can find him on YouTube.
You can hire him to shoot your videos.
Ak40Devin. Everything
Ak40Devin,
on
everything.
Instagram, YouTube, whatever. Ak40Devin official.
All right. This is Lance Prince.
Johnny Walker.
Ak40Devin.
The Winner Table Podcast.
W.
You can find it at thewinnertable.com.
Absolutely.
Find our clothing. Find
just
our merch.
remember, being a winner is just a mentality. It's all about how you're able to keep that positivity and keep pushing forward through everything that's going on.
Subscribe, like, comment, and let us know how
yourself.
let us know how you feel about it. Fucking yourself. All right.
For sure, skis. Let's go, bro.
This is Lance Prince.
Johnny Walker.
Ak40Devin. Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Put the like button. W.
I hold it. He's got to open.